the amount of work that investors are putting into the marketplace right now to find deals and to find capital is outrageous, especially for newer investors who are spending all of their time doing one thing by themselves. The people who are just trying to do it all by themselves, are working very hard. In fact, they're working harder than they've ever had to work because real estate in the past, I'd say 2008, 2009, 2012, like those years were super, super easy just to buy something. In fact, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. Anything I bought was a good deal. I didn't have to hunt for property. And even though it was tougher times to get creative financing, short sales were happening left and right, and the banks were pretty easy to borrow from. It was a really easy time in real estate. Show of hands if you remember that time, the 2008 to 2012, 2015 mark. It was a simple time in real estate. And then the last, let's call it 3 years since 2001, it's gotten a lot harder. And I would say even entrepreneurialism, even professionals in the real estate space have found it to be a little bit harder to generate leads. Show of hands if you know some of those people, or maybe are one of them. Notice it's a little more difficult. So today's principle will help you dive through that. But before we get started, let me first say, welcome back to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. My name is Walter Emerald, the real estate mentor, and we're driving through these 52 wealth principles, 52 weeks to wealth, so that we can double our income and double our net worth. Show of hands if you're not afraid of money, you're looking to double your income, double your net worth, and you're looking to do it with less work. That's what this principle is going to really help you dive into. Now, why do we do this for free? Well, it's because we're on a mission to build 100 millionaires who are inspired to build 100 millionaires. So it's about paying it forward and giving back. Show of hands if you're still committed to the mission. You will help others get theirs as you're on the process with getting yours. Thank you. That being said, wealth principle 25 is to the power of outsourcing. It is outsourcing other activities, outsourcing other people's skills, other people's knowledge, other people's capital, outsourcing other people's energy. Show of hands if you've seen examples of people who are really good at outsourcing, the master delegators, the people with an army around them just getting things done. So we're going to talk about how you can become one of those people today. We're going to talk about how it actually works for you. And in order to learn the lesson, I want you to go back to a place where you were trying to do everything all by yourself. Maybe you're in that place today, so it's not too far of an exaggeration. But the people who try to do everything themselves, going back to that place where maybe you were, and I'm going to give you an example of the gym this morning. Show of hands if you've ever had to work out before, so you're familiar with that sort of framework. Like working out is kind of similar to all sorts of business, right? It starts really hard, and then over time you get progressively better. So this morning we were at the gym, and Thurman asked me, how do I get more money? How do I increase the amount of money I'm making? How do I believe that it's possible for me? And I told him, well, you have to move your comfort zone up to this new place that you want to be in. Now, that sounds like Tony Robbins, sounds very woo-woo. But when I explained it to him, was like the second you change your comfort zone, you wake up pissed off. You wake up really frustrated, really annoyed with the fact that you're doing all this work, right? Because you start realizing the goal I have isn't possible to be done by one individual. It's impossible. I need all this marketing coming in. I need all of this money coming in. I need all of these deals being managed by other people so I can stay doing what investors do best. By the way, if you want to scale up your business and own a bunch of real estate, you have to submit offers all the time. Submitting offers is the #1 highest leverage component in real estate investing. It's as high as you possibly can get. Even the greatest, most successful people still have to put the rubber stamp on, yes, we're going to buy that deal. That's as far up as BlackRock. The CEO has to make that decision. Are we going to continue acquiring this type of property? Show of hands, we understand the decision on acquisition is the most important leverage point. So everything else is something that is unleveraged. If you're doing all those activities yourself, you could be working for $2 to $3 an hour. Some activities that you currently do because you're used to them. Some activities that you currently do because you're used to them are $5 an hour, or $10 an hour. And I actually have few people on this call this week that I actually told them you should go hire somebody in the Philippines because the activity you're doing or paying too much for, it could be done easier and better by somebody else. Now, Thurban was asking this question. I thought it was interesting because who here also understands that belief is a big factor to your success? You have to believe it's possible. You have to believe it's possible for you. And so I hate going into the mindset too often on these calls because I like to provide the tactical. So I want to just leave that there and say, if you have problems believing in you, go solve that outside of this call. Go and believe in yourself a little bit more. Show of hands, we can do this. That's homework. All right. Go believe in you. Believe in it's possible. Now, once you have believed in yourself that it's possible, it's because you're putting yourself into a new comfort zone. You're moving yourself up into this space where you need more activity produced. Who here is committed to making $1 million in a single year? Committed to doing this? Excellent. Awesome. Excellent. Some of you are like, I want to make a million a month. Perfect. Excellent. Just adjust. Now, if we want to make $1 million in a single year and we sell a $10,000 product, that means that you'd have to make that $10,000 product be sold to 100 people. If you have a $100,000 product, let's call it flipping real estate, then you'd only have to do 10 flips per year. But if you had a $1 million product, let's call it a multifamily investment where you bought it for $4 million, but it's worth $5 million, that's $1 million of equity, that's $1 million profit on that product, then you'd only have to do one per year. Show of hands if we understand the different types of leverage as far as result created. Perfect. Now, as we were going through this workout this morning, I mentioned the three things that are required to learn how to outsource better: knowledge, network, accountability, right? Knowledge, network, accountability. It's a very strange thing because those are esoteric. They're outside. They're not necessarily things you could just grab, right? Show of hands if you grasp, these are weird components. Like, it's hard to measure. There's no real metric behind knowledge, network, or accountability. But if you dig deeper, there actually is. You can outsource network. You can jump into masterminds like this group right here. This is a very specialized group, people who are committed to building wealth. True or true? Everyone who's committed to building wealth for yourself? Excellent. And uniquely designed to build wealth for others. So you can access a very specific, unique network. That would be leverage. Then there are coaches on the call. Where are my coaches? Any coaches on the call? Coaches or mentors or realtors or financial planners? Any of you kind of provide guidance? Excellent. So that would be a level of accountability and also a level of knowledge. But let's say other mentors on the call, people who have helped other people get what they've already got. Mentors, people who've kind of guided. Show of hands if you're a mentor. Show of hands if you know what a mentor is. Perfect. So mentors are another form of outsourcing knowledge, like direct knowledge, because coaches don't necessarily always have the knowledge of your particular industry. A good coach is going to ask you what your goals are, and they're going to help you get to your goal. They're going to give you action steps. Most of the time, they're going to ask you what you think is a great way to get to your goal. A mentor is somebody who's done it before, and most importantly, doing it right now. The best kind of mentor is somebody who's currently doing it in the moment, because they can tell you actual tactical knowledge. Now, you need all three. And this is just one component of mindset. In your business, it's deals, money, labor. Deals, money, labor. These are all outsourceable components. I just shared how you can outsource the mentorship, the coaching, and the mastermind to other people. True or true? Knowledge, network, accountability. You can use those three things to outsource your mindset. Then you need to be able to outsource the actual activities. One form of leverage. There's actually four forms of leverage. I'll give you those really quickly, very, very fast. The first form of leverage that most people are aware of is money leverage, capital leverage. Show of hands if that's one you're familiar with. You need money. Capital gets, yeah, I do anything if I have enough capital. Two is people leverage. So if you have enough hard work, labor, people leverage. The third one is attention, audience, marketing, influence. So the ability to media, right? The ability to get in front of a lot of people. And then the fourth one is, I did money. Oh, technology. So AI, robotics, apps, Excel, all sorts of technology. Fuck the wheel. All of that allows you to do more and have more leverage. So those four things are also outsourceable. You can outsource technology. You don't have to own the technology company and go to another technology company. For example, we're all borrowing Zoom. Nobody here owns Zoom, correct? None of you are the owner of Zoom. All right, some of you may have shares in Zoom. That's smart. But we're all outsourcing this technology to be here. Many of you are on Facebook all day long. None of you own Facebook. Maybe small percentages, small shares, but you have to do the work to build it. We're leveraging the platform. So that's another form. Those four forms of leverage are what we're going to talk about today. Is it all right if we stick to these four forms of leverage? All right. As real estate investors, deals, money, and labor are the three areas where you're going to find weakness no matter what. No matter what happens in your business, you will be weak on one of these at every given point. Two will be stronger than the other one. And the reason that is because of the nature of real estate and nature of business at all. First, deals. We'll talk about deals for a moment. If you have no deals, then it doesn't matter how much money you have or how much labor you have. True or true? You have no deals, then you're strong on money and labor. I got all the money and labor I need. So deals become the first component of your real estate investing career. As soon as you have too many deals, by the way, who here has too many deals or would love too many deals? Great problem to have, right? So if you have too many deals, what is the next problem that occurs? I don't have enough money, but I've got too many deals and I got too much labor. We're not doing shit, so I don't need any more labor. But I am out of money. So as soon as you solve the money problem by leveraging out and bringing in other people's capital or borrowing from the banks, whatever it is, or you sell something, now you bring your own capital, you solve the money problem and you solve the deal problem, you run into the labor shortage, the labor issue. I don't have a property manager to manage this project. I don't have enough contractors. The contractors aren't showing up on time. And that becomes your next form of challenge. As long as the deals are flowing and the money's flowing, you will eventually, inevitably, start running out of workers to do the work. Show of hands if we understand the three components that leverage becomes necessary on. Excellent. First, give yourselves a round of applause. Real estate investing is not easy, but it is worth it. I was on a lot of calls this week, a lot of calls within the mastermind and a lot of calls outside of the mastermind for people who are looking to get into the real estate space, people who are looking to scale up their wealth factors. Many of them are people who've done flips before, own a lot of businesses, and they're just looking for that passive income and they're looking for the depreciation. A few of the people I was on the phone with this week were earning $250,000 to $400,000, and they were working for free. That's what I told them. They're working for free 4 months out of the year, because they're paying taxes to Uncle Sam, because all it is direct income. Direct income. These people are just making money, making money, making money. Now, sure, we have some expenses we can do on our business. So that's a reinvestment back into business. But some of these folks, they don't even own their own business. They're just, the money's just coming in. It's just literally cash flow. And they've been saving and they're putting money into the 401ks. But the challenge is that for 4 months out of the year, they're working for free. Show of hands if you've ever been that person. You know what that's like. Paid a lot of taxes to Uncle Sam. Sucks. Totally sucks. So we looked at the chart I had built a while back, which I'll show again really quickly. And we looked at a spreadsheet that said, here's a depreciation schedule if you own a bunch of real estate. And the depreciation of real estate allows you to not pay taxes. So by owning, simply by owning enough real estate, they're able to eliminate their tax bill and get back those 4 months out of the year, an entire quarter out of the year. One of the people that I was speaking to had a hard time handling this because the way I said it, they basically had lost an entire year of their life, because for the last 4 years, they've been flipping real estate, having, multiple six-figure income, but they were missing out on opportunities with their spouse, with their kids, and they realized this brought them to tears. They realized that for an entire year out of the last 4 years, they had not seen their family. And they could have. They could have seen their family and spent that entire year with. They could have taken an entire year off and just spent time with the family, but they didn't because they didn't have a good tax structure in place. They didn't have a tax shelter like real estate. So very quickly, I'll share the schedule. This right here is the depreciation schedule for assets held. So let's say the average real estate investor portfolio that has $1 million is about a $5 million portfolio that is about 80% leveraged. And in that portfolio, you can depreciate about $200,000 a year. It's like $177,000 a year. So if you're earning $250,000, you only pay taxes on about $70,000. Joe Fence, we understand how that changes people's lives. It means you get to keep most of your income, because that 70,000 bracket is way better than the after 90,000 bracket. And after 90, they really take a lot more of your income. So that was a concern for them. Now, there's a lot of other people who we've been talking to who genuinely are just busting their ass for cheap, for like almost no money. And these are people who are in that six-figure range, just under six figures, of between $50,000 and $100,000, and they're just working too hard. And I jump on the call and they're like, okay, I got to get into real estate. I got to start wholesaling real estate. I got to start finding off-market deals. So I'm doing cold calling. I don't know who the F is selling people courses that teach them that wholesaling makes sense. One, wholesaling is the best way to get into real estate. I hate whatever guru is saying that. And then two, whoever is telling people that wholesaling is easy and it makes a lot of money is a fool and a liar. It is not easy. It's the hardest way to get into real estate. And then three, the person who is telling people that wholesaling, like being a real estate investor and wholesaling, is going to make it really easy for you to be a real estate investor in the future, is also a liar. Show of hands if you understand wholesaling is the hardest thing to do. It's not easy by any means. Yes, it's no risk, but the rewards are so fucking small, it doesn't make any kind of sense. So for a lot of the people who are going to ask me again in the future, hey, well, should I get into wholesaling? The answer is no, but you should build a network of wholesalers. You absolutely should Go to those courses where they're teaching wholesaling as a genius strategy, and then network with all of those wholesalers and tell them what your buy box is and allow them to send you deals. Allow them to send you deals. Get yourself 100 wholesalers. You'll never have a pipeline issue. You'll have infinite leads. Show of hands if we understand. This is simple leverage. People love it. You're outsourcing the work to another person. Now, it doesn't cost you anything to be on somebody's buy list, does it? Costs you nothing. Literally nothing to tell a wholesaler, here's my buy box, send me leads. So why don't we do it? People have a hard time outsourcing. I don't know what it is. Broke mentality, right? Fear of letting go, this pride of knowing the system, knowing how things work. I don't know what it is that forces people to think that being a wholesaler is going to make any kind of sense or that you should do this step. But I want to just on record, because this is Wealth Principle 25, which is the power of outsourcing, say to you, do not wholesale. Please collect a bunch of wholesalers. Please build a network of wholesalers. Allow them to send you deals. Allow them to send you deals. Show fans you commit to outsourcing the deal finding to wholesalers. Let these people make their money. Let these 20-year-old kids who are going to all these guru courses be like, hustle, grind 365, 7 days a week, nonstop, can't stop, won't stop. Let the wholesalers bust their asses for you. They want to. They're young kids. If you're over 40, you do not belong wholesaling. So, friends, we agree. We're going to let the wholesalers wholesale to you. Be the buyer. Step 2, money. Raising capital. Investing in real estate takes money. It takes capital. I wrote a book called Names on Deeds, and we talk about this all the time in the mastermind. In fact, in the mastermind, I don't know if you know this. Who's in the mastermind? Show of hands if you're already in the mastermind. Excellent. Let's give you guys a round of applause. In our mastermind, we have Vinny Chopra's Syndication Academy. It's part of what we pay for. I pay for the license. Every time you buy it, I send Vinny a little check. And there's over 100 videos of how to raise capital for multifamily investing. It's not just syndication, but that's, right now the way that makes the most sense. It takes the least amount of risk for you and puts more of the risk spread out across the investors and the asset itself. That is a philosophy that you need to understand. Don't do it all with your own money, unless you're a multiple six-figure earner and you just got money sitting in the bank. Like I did sit with a few of those this week who are sitting on $300, $400, $500, $600,000 doing nothing. Like those folks do need to use their money. It does make sense for them. But most of you do not have multiple six figures sitting on the sidelines. Show of hands if you know people who need to get into real estate who don't have six figures sitting on the sidelines. Okay. So there's a whole bunch of people. So how do we solve that problem? There's 35, 34, 33 trillion dollars currently in 401ks in America. 33 trillion with a T. And you trust me, you don't even know how big that is because you don't even know how big a billion is because you don't have a million yet. Show of hands if we understand a trillion is just huge. It's an unfathomable amount of money sitting in 401ks. This is how we raise capital for our deals. We help people unlock their 401ks by getting them into self-directed IRAs or self-directed 401ks. So now they can invest in real estate. The problem with it is if you're thinking doing this yourself, is you can't invest in your own deals with your own 401k and you can't invest in deals of your family or friends. It has to, you can do it with friends, but it can't be an arm's length transaction. It can't stay within the family. So the government says none for you, no nepotism. But if you want to invest in other people's deals, you can invest in other people's deals using your tax-free saved up money and earn tax-free income. So fans, if you'd love to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars tax-free, thanks to the government's system that already exists. So if you have money trapped in your 401ks, you can do self-directed IRAs. This is what Michael Shine, actually, this is the first deal I did with Michael Shine. He was pulling money from his IRA and he invested with our project and we were just paying right back tax-free. This is something that he suggests many times. He's talked to this community about this many times. Invest in a Roth. Invest soon and early. 60, I think it's 6,500 a year you can put in every year. Just put the money in, put the money in, put the money in. 10 years from now, that's $65,000. That's enough to do a small real estate deal. Thank you, Michael. You're right. Not real estate advice, not financial advice. All right. So step 2 of leverage is capital leverage. Learn how to do 401k, self-directed 401ks. You don't need to do it yourself. Outsource it to a financial planner. Outsource the whole conversation to a financial planner. Let them make their money while they help people transfer their money. Show of hands, if we understand, there's plenty of people who can do all of this for you. Capital raising also has a lot to do with the deal itself. I was asked recently, how do I buy these properties with no money down? Step one, write this down. It's really important. Everybody with a pen, anybody with, put it in the chat if you have to. Step one, please, please, please remember this step. The answer to how to buy real estate with no money down is a simple philosophy, but you need to understand this. Step one, have no money. Step two, buy the real estate anyway. That's right. The only way you're going to buy real estate with no money down is you just don't have the money option. Because every time I've had money, I always use it. Every time I have money to invest in real estate, I just put the money in. And then if I keep buying, I'm then forced to be more creative with the deal. And then I buy it with no money. I bring in other investors. I do seller financing. Maybe I take the property subject to. There are a lot of different ways, 27 ways to buy real estate with no money down. And there's only 3 ways to buy it traditionally with your own capital. Equity, your own cash, or borrowing from a bank, a traditional bank. So there's like 30 ways to buy real estate, and only 3 of them are your own money. Show of hands if we grasp this. So again, step one, don't have money. Step two, still buy real estate anyway. Show of hands, we understand capital leverage. We understand there's a lot of money out there. It's sitting in their 401ks. Here's the other side where the most amount of money is sitting. Biggest asset class in the world, $85 trillion is in real estate. The asset itself that you want to buy already has the money in it. It's already worth it. So all you have to do is have a conversation with the owner of the property and ask them if you can put your name on the deed. That's it. I'm gonna put my name on the deed and I'll pay you, monthly. I'll pay you in 5 years. We'll lump sum in 5 years, a refinance. You don't have to pay a monthly fee on real estate. That is just a philosophy that the banks created for guys like me who like to make our money every month. So if there are passive investors on here who love the monthly paycheck system, yeah, keep paying us, right? We love it. But if you're in a market where it doesn't make sense to make monthly payments, adjust your strategy, adjust your offers. Capital is leverageable. You can outsource the capital to other people. You can outsource the monthly payment to another human being. Let them pay themselves on paper, and you owe them more at the end of the deal. Number 3, the leverage of people. Human beings are the most diverse, versatile, amazing asset that you could ever have. You're going to run into problems in the future. They're going to be solved by somebody else, guaranteed. Guaranteed. You could try to solve them yourself, but that's minimum wage jobs. That's minimum wage activities. We have people in our community who I think we pay somewhere between $5 and $7 a month who create some of the most amazing pieces of content for you as a community. Our websites are developed by virtual assistants out in the Philippines who are like, who here has used our websites? Free resources, tools, calculators, things you've gotten on, and it's like links to get to these Zooms. That's all done by people who are geniuses at what they do. And we pay them because they're worth. I mean, we pay them higher than some of the other people out in the Philippines. I got guys who tell me that they're paying their VAs $4 and $2, $2 to $4 a month. We happen to pay our VAs a little bit more because our VAs are a little bit more specialized. But if you're just looking to prospect for leads, if you're looking to get more people who are reaching out and doing business with you, clients, you could hire appointment setters for $4 an hour, $5 an hour, and book yourself full of appointments of clients by the way, clients are not deal leverage or people leverage. These are labor leverage. I look at clients as people who are doing work for you. Believe it or not, they are supposed to go out and advertise your business. If you do a great job, other people will tell people about you. Alchemist Nation is completely 100% built by other people saying, yeah, they've really helped me out. We're 100% a referral-based company. People say, yep, I became a millionaire because of these guys, or they showed me a way. They're free webinar. You should come. You should enjoy it. This is valuable. So your business, you're leveraging people is mostly, for most of you on the call, the range between that 40 to 100,000. That's your biggest problem. You're trying to do it all yourself. You need a VA, you need an assistant. Usually an assistant is like the first thing that I suggest you hire. I was on with Melanie this week and I was like, you need an executive assistant. You need somebody like literally right there doing like your laundry and like all this crazy stuff that you're doing. You need that handled. Your bookkeeping, your paychecks. She has like 150 employees, and yet she's still managing how the paychecks are going out. Joe Fence, we understand she needs some people leverage. She needs to bring in some help, bring in some support. Absolutely. Sales. If you're not selling enough, you need salespeople leverage, right? Hire some salespeople, bring some salespeople into the business. I'm literally hiring salespeople right now. If you don't have enough leads, that's marketing leverage. Hire somebody from marketing to bring in that skill set. I don't have enough coaches, but Gary right now is focused on building enough coaches to help our communities run better. So we're looking for 300 coaches. It's Gary's responsibility. If you know a coach who wants to be leveraged, who wants a bunch of leads. By the way, show fans of coaches love helping people. They would love our community to just support us. Absolutely. So if you know a coach, send them to Gary. Gary is looking to bring on those coaches. Uh, your leverage is more important, your time leverage, more important than the money or the deal because it's your quality of life. Who has kids or wants to have kids or wants to spend time with their spouse? The more you leverage other people in the work that generates income, the faster your company will grow. This is sales and marketing. The more you can leverage other people in organizing leads or bringing in conversations, booking appointments for you, or closing appointments and bringing people into your business, the more you can leverage generating income. Remember, that's the whole point. The point is not to work, it's to generate income. That's what optimization is all about. The more you can leverage, bring in more business, bring in more sales, bring in more money, the more money you will have. Show of hands if you understand. It's not supposed to be all you. Excellent. This is why Wealth Principle 25 is such an earth-shattering principle. I used to teach as just VAs, but the more I see the community develop, the more I'm on calls. By the way, Dorina told me this week, I've been on 300 calls in the last 90 days. 300 one-on-one conversations in the last 90 days. 2 days ago, it was 260. I did 40 calls in the last 2 days. Show of hands if you understand. That's work. That's how did I pull it off is leverage, right? I leverage live events. I speak on stage and I book a call from that live event. And then I'm every 15 minutes with a new face, with a new person, every 15 minutes, every 15 minutes, every 15 minutes. And I'm having massive impact. Who here has been on a call with me? 15-minute call. Awesome. Hell yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause. I love it. I love getting to know you. I have notes on every one of you, and we're moving forward. Who here feels that you're moving forward from those calls? You've gotten gains from it. You've gotten progress. You've gotten something valuable. Awesome. Give yourselves one more round of applause. Very intelligent to have booked a call with me. That is leveraging my knowledge. When we sit down, I'm a great strategist. It's what I do. So you're leveraging my knowledge. You are outsourcing knowledge from another human being, and you're taking your problems and putting them into my brain and saying, hey, process this, handle this for me. How do I get to the next level? Very intelligent. The book a call feature now works on the website. I've been training my coaches to be able to do exactly what I do. In fact, I've hired coaches better than me, smarter than me. I've partnered up with coaches who are better and smarter than me. So now when you go to book a call at alchemiststation.com, when you go to Alchemist Station website and you hit the book call link, it runs to a round robin of me and the other high-level business consultants, the high-level coaches. Show fans if you don't mind that it's free. You don't mind that we don't charge at the moment. There is probably, inevitably, a future where we'll have to put some sort of charge on that. But for right now, there isn't. Who here thinks that's awesome? You're alive at a great time in this community, alive at a great time at the beginning. And it's a special feature. I'll show you the 3 steps to financial freedom with us. Step 1, discover your millionaire path. If you haven't already clicked on this and done it, please do so. You click on it, it brings you to 6 questions. You'll get your roadmap, your actual roadmap. Once you fill it all out, you'll have your millionaire path. Step 2, join the 52 Weeks to Wealth. Each one of you is here. You already clicked on it. You went to ibuildmillionaires.com. You registered. There are 52 wealth principles. You read them all. And homework I gave you when I sat on the call was please look for the one that pisses you off the most, the one that makes you the most uncomfortable, and acknowledge that's probably the one you need the most work with. That's the one you need to spend the most time with to fix yourself and your business. Then step 3 is to find your local meetup. There's right now 30 local meetups across the community, across the country, and we're looking to get to 300 in the next 2 years. So we're aiming to get to 100 by the end of this year. Hopefully by the time we get to the 100 Millionaire Summit in Orlando, which is October 18th. So it's a 3-step process for us to build millionaires. But this book a call is how we juice the process faster. This up here is, we'll call it the bonus that is coming into the community is when you hit the book a call link, you're getting one of our top level business consultants. Show of hands if you know how to leverage this. Awesome. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Smart community. All right. Every week we have a book of the week. Every week we have a principle. I want to do an exercise with you. And I want to make sure that you're focused on fixing your business. Three categories in your business: deals, money, labor. I want you to write down on a piece of paper. And before we have you write this down, I want to go back to network knowledge, network, and accountability. I remember the trifecta for mindset, the three things for mindset, knowledge, network, and accountability. I was told about a decade ago by the person who'd really changed my life. He said it takes three coaches, two mentors, and a mastermind. He said, this is what it takes to be successful. It takes three coaches, two mentors, and a mastermind. And over time, I just took that in and I said, okay, three coaches. I need a health, wealth, and relationship coach. I know that. I need three coaches, somebody to keep my health right, my body right, somebody in the gym, my nutritionist. Also, I need somebody to keep my relationship with my spouse right, make sure that I'm on track with my spouse and my partners to make sure I'm a good relational person. That's leadership training. And then the third one was I needed somebody to teach me how to get my money up. I needed coaches who could get my money up. These are financial planners, advisors, business consultants, all these people who really, helped me level up my game. So three coaches, I knew that. The two mentors, he broke it down like this. You need a local mentor who knows your market, for sure. You need somebody, boots on the ground, but you also need somebody outside of your market. Because here's the problem with a mentor. The benefit of the mentor is they're doing deals in your market. The problem with the mentor is they're doing deals in your market. So you are their direct competition. So they don't teach you marketing strategies. They don't teach you how to find the off-market properties, but they can teach you what rents are, where to go in the government to get assistance, where to go to get, they probably won't even give you contractors because, contractors are tight. So fans, you've met this already. You've seen like people like, yes, I can't really tell you that. That's where the out of state, out of town mentor comes in. The person who's not competing in your market. And the third one is the mastermind. The mastermind is really how you build your wealth. So, a mastermind is a group of people who are focused together around your success, a group of people who are specialists at what they do, focused on your success. So, imagine a mastermind. The masterminds we build currently, the one I believe in the most, is a mastermind with a realtor and a mortgage broker and a financial planner and an attorney who can close the deal and an insurance agent who can insure the deal. These are like the core five, and a property manager who can manage the property because I want you outsourcing everything, right? So property manager can manage property. This is core six relationships you need in the beginning. The other six come as you progress. They may be hard money lenders, they may be commercial lenders, they may be credit repair specialists if your credit's jacked up, and those people kind of come to the team over time. But really, to get you successful, you need somebody who's giving you deals. Also, wholesalers make a part of your team, but you need a lot of them. And a good agent can manage that wholesaling team for you. Show of hands, you understand the leverage of a mastermind. So when the mastermind is masterminding over you, the reason they do it is because most of them are paid on commission or upon delivery of a deliverable, like they've gotten you somewhere. Oh, I forgot to mention the coach. The coaches are a huge part of our masterminds because the coach facilitates all of it. The coach listens to what your goals are, listens to your ambitions, listens to your skills, what your problems are, and they reach out to the rest of the mastermind, ask them to call you, contact you, move you along the process. Show of hands if a mastermind is a powerful solution to anything, any problem in life. Absolutely. Especially in real estate, though. We call it the dirty dozen. When I first started as an agent, they told me you need your dirty dozen. And I was like, why? Who are they? They're like, well, it's the mortgage broker, the attorney, the financial planner, like all these different people who are in the deal, who your clients are going to ask for. At some point, your client's going to ask for this or that, and they're going to need it along the way. A contractor, a plumber, electrician, they're going to need all of these people. So you need to have your dirty dozen so you can be the realtor they use because you got the network. And so I did that as a business model. And later on, when I started building millionaires, I realized I could leverage my team, my mastermind, as a way to help these people become millionaires. When I set the target and said everybody who I work with will become a millionaire, that meant I had to find off-market deals for them. It meant I had to raise capital for them. It meant that I had put property management in place for them. Show fans to understand I'm the greatest realtor of all time. When I'm like the infinite source. Why would anybody ever stop? Right? Why did you ever stop? And that was the philosophy that built Alchemist Nation to be what it was in Fall River when we were just a local community, just helping people grow. So the mastermind is undoubtedly the most important component to your business. It's your team. It's the group of people who want you to be successful because they're incentivized upon your success. Show of hands, if you understand, everybody has to win in a mastermind. They have to be incentivized for you to win. So usually they're paid upon deliverable, paid upon you doing a thing. So your success pays them. They get commission every time you win, they win. Again, one more time. Show of hands if it makes sense. Win, win, win. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Great philosophy. All right. So knowledge, network, accountability. We know you can do that with three coaches, two mentors, and a mastermind. And that brings me to the action steps. I want you to write down what is the one thing you can do such that by doing it, you'll outsource more of your deal finding process. Your deal finding process. Write down one thing, one relationship, or one thing you can do to outsource the deal finding process. Outsource deal finding. What is one thing you could do that would outsource deal finding? And then once you've written that down, what is the one thing you could do that would outsource capital raising? What is the one thing you could do, or one person you could talk to, or one thing you could learn, or one thing you could join or be a part of to raise capital, infinite capital, leverage? Write that down. And then when you got that, throw your thumb to the camera. All right. Awesome. So the first one again, what is one thing you can do to leverage deals? Let's talk to somebody, join a thing, have a conversation, set something up, choose a person, install a person, whatever. What is the one thing you could do to generate more leads, outsource deal flow? Second one was, what is the one thing you can do to outsource capital raising, to get more capital, to get access to more capital, outsource who could you bring in, who could you leverage, what system or product or person? One of the four leverages could you do to get more money to do your deals? And then the third one is, what could you do or join or be a part of or talk to who or create that would bring in infinite amounts of labor, people to do the work, right? People to do the work for you, or customers, clients. So one thing you could do to outsource to scale up the amount of clients or labor or people working for you in your business or in your investment path. Write it down. What is the one thing you could do? So that's deals, one for money, and then one for labor. Leverage points for each one of these components. Now, even though this principle only comes around one time a year, so this principle will come back again next year when we do Wealth Principle 25 again. I want you to every so often review your business and ask this question. From this day forward, every so often, go back to your sheet. Put this sheet, by the way, somewhere really special, somewhere important where you'll see it often. I want you to come back to it every so often and ask yourself again, what is the one thing I can do to leverage, outsource more deals? What is the one thing I can do to outsource more money, more capital? What is the one thing I can do to outsource more labor, more people doing the work for me? And again, this is Wealth Principle 25, the power of outsourcing. We will do it again next year. Wealth Principle 26 coming up is to study the people and businesses that are performing the way you want your business to perform. So next week is a very different principle. So I want you to make sure you implement this principle throughout this week. Show of hands if we understand the assignment. Excellent. Because every week we're going to be doing something different. They stack on top of each other, and I really want you to complete in 1 week at a time so you can keep moving forward solidly. Now, every week we have a principle and then we have a book. And me and Michael Shine, we sat down and we reviewed all 52 principles. And as we were shifting and adjusting them and moving them into different orders so they all would stack on top of each other, we started adding books to them. And the wealth principles and the books tie in perfectly. They're perfectly integrated. And the reason being is that each book really goes deep into a single philosophy. Most books, the really best written books, really go deep and fully explain a simple philosophy. This book this week is no different. This week's book of the week is presented to us by Michael Shine. He's our holistic attorney. He's the closer, the keeper of the books. Michael Shine, what is this week's book of the week? Let's give it up for Michael Shine.
Thanks, Walter. Great job as usual. The book of the week is by Daniel Pink. It's called A Whole New Mind. And while I was listening to you talk, I really feel like this book is perfect because of what you were just saying. Sort of in the background of what Walter was saying was that we are outsourcing everything. Okay, so Walter's talking about VAs for this, salespeople for that, send this over to this. And basically what that means is all the stuff that was left brain stuff, simple stuff that you can do over and over and over again is being sent out to somebody else to do that job. So then you say, well, what are humans going to do if AI is taking over, if VAs are taking over, if I think of this example. This is in the book, but I just thought of it. Somebody invented the dishwasher at one point, and that was like this amazing invention. Wow, this guy must have been praised for inventing the dishwasher. But
Woman.
now it's just a commodity, and they're just made, and they're not, there's like 100 different companies that you can buy a dishwasher from. And so that amazing invention just becomes something that the left brain side of our body just automatically makes it. And even with Tesla, there are robots that'll be able to make those in the future. So, what are humans going to do? Combined with that, Daniel Pink also talks about the fact that with all the success and all these ways of making money, whether on the internet or passively, what does your life mean? Like, what's the meaning of it? And so he goes into that, and what he determines is that there's a whole new mind, and the whole new mind is the right side of the brain, which talks about subtleties, things that people can understand, like metaphor or subtleties or nuance or things like that. So it's all about going from like the industrial age to a conceptual age where the value of human beings is the stuff that computers can't do. So it's a really it's a neat book. I really enjoy it, and I really enjoyed it. And really, what it's telling us is that the value of humans is the stuff that computers can't do. We can feel, as an attorney, um, anybody can sign and date a bunch of documents with people, but my real value in my closing business is talking to people and getting a sense of who they are personally and what their pain points are and what's bothering them, that kind of stuff. Maybe AI will be able to replace that in the future, but I don't see it. I think that the brain is just way more complicated than that. And so this book tells you where we're going in the future, and it's going to be right brain taking over from where and the value of the right brain, the right side of your brain. So that's the whole new mind, and it's a great book. Daniel Pink, I recommend it. Enjoy it. Thank you.
Give Michael Shine a big round of applause. Again, the book of the week is A Whole New Mind. Michael Shine is the keeper of the books, the holistic attorney, the closer. He's closed more real estate deals for me than any other real estate attorney. So one more time for Michael Shine. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. It means a lot to know that Mike will do whatever it takes to make sure the deal closes. And when I say whatever it takes, like he's done a lot of stuff on the back end that I've never seen another attorney do.
Not
So very, very
not
thankful.
as long as it's legal, ethical, and moral.
Legal, ethical, moral. I won't tell them what you've done because I don't think you're going to offer that to just anybody. But some of the things you've done to close the deal is Mike put himself and his finances on the line for us. So very, very cool to see relationships, the power of relationships. The whole new mind, the reason this is important for you as an investor is you have in the right brain, like getting more creative, the conceptual age versus the information age versus the industrial age. We're in a conceptual age where no longer does the toaster itself have to just toast. It has to fucking match your refrigerator too. And if it doesn't match the refrigerator, you won't buy that toaster. Show of hands, you've seen the red one, the black one, the green one, the white one, the stainless steel one. Like the things have to match. The trash barrel has to match the toaster. The toaster has to match the blender. The blender has to match the fridge and the stove and the dishwasher. That's the product of the conceptual age. So how do we as real estate investors take this into our world? How do we do this as entrepreneurs? The quick and simple answer is what we've seen with residential assisted living. This is now fusing it's fusing the house itself that we're used to, the real estate component that we're used to, and it's bringing in the medical field. Right? When you think of residential assisted living or senior assisted living or memory care facilities, this is taking the real estate component and it's bringing in the medical field, which, by the way, as people age out, this will become more important. Another one that's been brought to my attention are the additional homes, the backyard home, the basement renovation for the in-law apartments. That's what it is. In-law units are something that if you can add an in-law unit to your existing property, if you're doing a flip and you add an in-law unit, you will sell it for more than if that property had not had the in-law unit. So that being able to shift usage of a property and adding extra, what are they called? Accessory dwelling units. Thank you. Let's give Mike Shine the round of applause. ADUs. Adding units to a building makes you creative. You didn't do much more renovation. The renovation is an extra 30,000, but it'll get you an extra 100,000, 150,000 in ROI, in return on investment, in an additional money. Another one is rooming houses, taking existing buildings and changing, the pipes. So you have now sprinkler systems, changing the way the buildings are set up, but putting more doors inside a single roof. Rooming houses. We're getting creative with our real estate so that you can get more cash flow out of it. Condoizing multifamilies. This is a big wave that you'll see a lot in Massachusetts, in Rhode Island, and New York. You'll see people buying big multifamilies and then condoizing them and selling them by the condo, and it increases the amount of return you're getting by 30 to 40%. Show of hands if that makes sense. Not all markets do every one of these strategies make sense, but you have to understand your market. We have to look at this world through a different lens. It can no longer just be functional. It has to be conceptually intelligent. It has to make even more sense, keeping in mind the baby boom generation is the biggest generation right now, and they're the ones who need the most changes. The current inventory doesn't serve their needs, and it's up to us to shift that inventory status. That's what Alchemist Nation is here for, is to be that person who goes in and fixes the current inventory or builds the new inventory. Show of hands if you understand the mission. This is how millionaires are built. We have to think a little differently. We have to take more action, different action. The stuff that worked in the past doesn't work today, and so it's up to you to adjust and adapt. Excellent. Well, in that case, Dorina told me that I should tell you something special. She just recently locked down a person who is unique and is going to be coming into our community. So show of hands again, if you're in the mastermind members, this is for you. For everybody who's on the fence about whether I should get into the mastermind or not, let me tell you a little bit about Bob Berg. Who here knows who Bob Berg is already? Familiar with the Go Giver series, Endless Referrals? Excellent. So Bob Berg will be coming into the mastermind, and he'll be giving us, I believe, 30 minutes of his time. And Dorina, what is the date? What day and time is Bob Berg coming in so that we can prepare everybody in the mastermind to be there?
It's April 25th at 3 p.m. Eastern.
April 25th is Thursday. So Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody inside the mastermind will be meeting at a different time. Normally we meet at 8 p.m. on Monday nights. So we're still going to do that. Show of hands, we're still down to do that. We're still going to meet on 8 p.m. to do our normal thing where we mastermind deals, review flow, review a little bit of lesson. And then on Thursday, the 25th this week at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, Bob Berg will be jumping into a webinar with us. And so all of your faces will be there. You'll be able to ask the great, legendary Bob Berg questions. Here's what I know because I've personally spoken to him before. I've had him on my podcast. He is the most genuine, nicest, abundant guy you will ever speak with. And if you haven't read his books or one of his books, please do. In fact, he's such a nice guy that Michael Shine called him or emailed him. And one day, Mike actually got him on a call, and he was sent a whole Go Giver book with a little letter that said, thank you for the time. Like that's the kind of guy Bob is. He took the time to send him a letter after jumping on a call with him. So Bob is a fantastic person. In our Recession Proof Challenge, we've leveraged his book, Endless Referrals. Show of hands if you read Endless Referrals with us. If you've been in the RPC, we forced you to. So in the RPC, we read this book because Bob's approach to selling is so unique and so successful that it doesn't even feel like selling anymore. It feels like you're just building relationships, feels like you're just helping people, it just feels like you're just solving problems. Because the way he believes you should win in this world is by being a go-giver, not a go-getter. By going and giving and giving and giving and giving tremendous value. And then if it's right for a person, they'll jump in because you're the person they know, like, and trust. And you're over delivering on everything, every way, every step of the relationship. So if you're having a hard time with selling and you don't like traditional sales tactics, then come and hang out with us on Thursday at 3 p.m. This Thursday, 3 p.m. It's the 25th. That is for mastermind members only. If you're not in the mastermind, maybe this is a good time to jump in. You can jump in before Monday and you'll get access to the Thursday. If you jump in after Monday, you'll still get access to this Thursday. If you jump in after Thursday, you'll still get access to the normal Monday, but you will have missed the opportunity with Bob Berg. Show of hands if we understand how time works. All right. It's a time opportunity thing. This is probably the only time we'll get him in here, but we did get Brant Phillips into the mastermind 2 weeks ago. And Brant Phillips was the author of the book, Private Money, a Private Lender Playbook. So he wrote the book on how to raise private capital, on how to invest passively with money. And that's a book I give everybody who ever has considered investing with me passively. I give that book to them, and then afterwards they want to invest with me. So I brought Brant Phillips in to teach us, what is the secret behind his philosophy and how he's raised millions of dollars. Coming up, I know Vinny Chopra will be in the mastermind as well. But this April 25th at 3 p.m., Bob Berg is going to be in the mastermind. Let's give all our mastermind members a round of applause. Smart folks, very intelligent. Love you guys. All right, just to correct Michael Shine. Michael Shine said that he created the dishwasher. I want to just state that it was Josephine Cochran who created the dishwasher.
I did not say I did. I said whoever did, but it's no he. Oh, I got you. It was a woman. You're absolutely
right.
right. She.
That's right. She was an American inventor who
Apologize.
invented the first successful hand-powered
absolutely right.
dishwasher, which she designed and constructed. And she did it after her husband died, and so she was a widow, and she had to figure out money. She had to figure out money, and she didn't have any way to do it, and she decided she's going to be an inventor. So it was a really, really good story that I watched on some Netflix show of people who invented stuff in America. So let's give Mike Shine a round of applause because gave me an opportunity to share a little bit of knowledge. Now we're going to open up to Q&A.
Let's give Walter a round of applause for correcting that. Yeah.
I like knowledge. It's very important that we have the right information and we read the stories. I was talking to Thurbin today and we were saying, what's really nice, by the way, Ken Ingram, I don't know if he's on the call today, but Ken Ingram just made $1 million Tuesday. So let's give Ken Ingram a big round of applause. He just closed on a 19-key hotel. He's in the mastermind. He's been talking about it for weeks now, 60 days. So in 60 days, he made $1 million. Joe fans, if that's possible, if somebody else did it, you can do it. All right. So we were talking about demographics. I was saying, look, Ken Ingram's story is now the story I'm going to tell all the time because my condo story, my 6-unit story, my 35-unit story, like I did 35 units, made 600,000 in 60 days, but really he made $1 million in 60 days. My condos, they made 1.5 million in 60 days, but it was me doing it. Show of hands if it's better when somebody else in the community did it. The story is so much better. Saeed, who went from $250,000 to 1.5 million in 18 months. That's another great story. I've been carrying some of these stories, so now I've got one more. This is an asset I'm going to use for years and years and years to build millionaires. Show of hands if you understand. You could be one of those too. All you got to do is crush it. All you got to do is crush it and let me know. Let me know the story. Let me know what you're doing. Be around. Be in a place that I can see you. But one more time. The mastermind works. It's working. Let's give Ken Ingram a round of applause. Big deal. It's a big deal. And we think over the next 2 years, he repositions this hotel that he'll actually be able to get to 1.5 or $2 million in equity in that property. It's 90% seller financed. He only had to bring 10% to the table. And the property was already running really well. Darina asked me to remind people how to learn more about the mastermind. And if you want a free coaching session from one of our coaches, you can go to bookacall.alchemistnation.com. And the coaches will not sell you anything. That's not what they're there for. They're there to help you move forward, help you get to the next level, help you use the resources inside Alchemist Nation. So if you do want the mastermind, you're going to have to tell them that's what you made the call for. Show of hands if that makes sense. You'll have to let them know that you're interested in the mastermind. So for everybody on the call, we're going to do a Q&A session. We're going to open up to Q&A. The link is in the chat. Thank you, Doreen. It's called bookacall.alchemistnation.com, or you can go straight to Alchemist Nation, and right at the top right corner is the Book a Call button. Thanks to Mark Dozwa and Gary Aker, who work really hard on our website. So let's give these guys a round of applause. And Joe, Mark, Joe, he does a lot of work for us. First to unmute the mic is the winner. We're going to go to a Q&A session for about 10 minutes. I see Brian Kent is on here. His book, The R Factor, is out. It's all about outsourcing. So Brian, can we just get a really quick piece of advice from you?
Well, first of all, it is know your why. I just spent a week out west, and I got a phone call on Wednesday, and I always say that you got to get out where people know who you are and the people that you want to team with to know what you want to do. So know your why. And the reason that was important, the phone call, was for somebody sitting in a conference in Wilmington, North Carolina, and a government contract officer was quoting my book about relationships and dealing with government purchasing. So if you get out there, know what you're doing, have people are going to work with you, people want to team with you, and your message gets out, And like Galter was saying earlier, as you're building that network, the network just gets stronger and more leads come to you and more opportunity. And you just can't get away from success that way.
Give Brian Kent a round of applause. He wrote the book, The R Factor. I've read the book. The R stands for relationship, just in case you're wondering. And if you, yeah, I saw in the chats, yes, the question, can you buy the R Factor on Amazon? Yes, yes. Brian Kent, Kent, and
Yep, it's
Brian
on.
with an
I can help.
I.
It's Brian with an I. It's Brian L. Kent. It's on Amazon, or you can go to my webpage to get it. And I just approved the upload of the Audible. So that should be also, it'll be Audible, Kindle, and softback. The Audible should be up. The goal is no later than 1 May.
Awesome. Let's give Brian Kent a round of applause. That is way better than my book, Get the Deal, which still is not on Audible. So going to step up my game this year, but broke to $250,000 is. Other question in the chat. Let me see. Oh, Gary. So Gary, this week, he and I were on a conversation about success for the community, how to make sure that people are hitting their targets, hitting their goals, how to make sure that we're automating some of the process when people check in. Gary's been working really hard on our advertising. He works with Michael Gabriel, who does the actual traffic, but Gary has actually worked with the system in such a way that when you check in from now on, by the way, when you come to our local events, would it be okay if we called you, if we supported you, if we mastermind over you and like helped you reach your goals? Show of hands if you're okay with that, if you think that's a good idea. So does Gary. So Gary's been working on a way for us to track when a person comes into Alchemist Nation to be able to get onto a free call with one of our coaches, to be able to get onto a free call with one of our coaches and get it so that it's as seamless and as quick as possible, and also to help people know about the resources we have on here. So one of the tools we've been using is Facebook ads. Who's heard of Facebook advertising? Seen them maybe? Excellent. Who here has seen an ad for the 52 Weeks to Wealth inside your Facebook feed? All right, keep those hands up. You've seen an ad for the 52 Weeks of Wealth inside your Facebook feed. That is because Gary has built a check-in QR code that now connects to a Facebook pixel that Michael Gabriel now drives traffic to. So whenever a person jumps into our events and comes to a checkout, they're being automatically retargeted so that they know how to get access to the 52 Weeks to Wealth. So they know how to get into step 2. One of the other components is now we're hiring coaches. We're looking viciously looking for more coaches who have the abundance mindset, who care about helping more people, and have a knowledge understanding of basic wealth principles, like basic real estate, basic wealth principles, so that they can help people move up. And we're currently training them on our system, on our process, so they can move people along the process. And so when you check in, we don't have enough coaches right now. It's 400 people who've checked in last month. By the way, let's give all of our leaders a big round of applause for helping us with the check-ins. 400 people have come into this community, and we're only getting to about, let's call it 200 of them right now. So if you've checked in, you've come to our events, and one of us hasn't contacted you, we haven't walked you through a process, I know it hurts me more. Trust me, it hurts me more than it hurts you. You don't know what you're missing. I know what you're missing. So bear with us. If you know a good coach, you know a good mindset coach, somebody who's successful in business, please send them to Gary Aker. This is his personal passion. He wants to see more leaders growing in this community. He wants to see more leaders across this nation. His wife wants to teach more people. I was on an hour-long call with Gary yesterday, and it really touched me because he discovered what he's really, really passionate about. And he said, I know that people fail leadership. And I know that that has such a massive trickle effect into families, into businesses, into economies, into communities, and into people's worlds. And if people could just understand leadership at a higher level, we could have a massive impact as a community. Show of hands if it's valuable to learn and understand leadership better. So Gary's working really hard to make sure our local leaders have this level of training and have the right mentors and our coaches in place. So one more time, let's give Gary a round of applause. Love the work he's doing. Gary, you want to give us just a few tips on leadership, or one tip on leadership?
Well, what I wanted to do actually was just tell people that what we do, we don't have enough coaches to be able to call everyone. So we've got our hosts of our meetups that are calling people. We've got our sponsors that come in. So you might get a call from a title agent, or you might get a call from a property manager or something like that. But they're all got the go-giver attitude. So we're all just looking to find out how we can help. So you might not need a title agent, but feel free to talk to that title agent and tell them, this is what I'm doing in my business. This is where I'm at, because the title agent's coming back to us on Monday nights and we mastermind over that. And we're finding the person that you need to help you. We want to help you level up your business. So it doesn't matter if you're in real estate or you're just an entrepreneur and you're looking to get into real estate. We've got the folks in our network to be able to help you. And so that's what we want to do. We're every Monday night we're working with folks, and right now we've got more leads than we have people that can call them. So if you come in, expect a call, but remember that we're just trying to reach out and find how we can help, because the whole point there's no reason to have a networking group. And this is what most RIAs do. Most RIAs, they come in, you sit there, you get a class, you hand out your business card, the sponsors in the room hand you their business card, and then you leave. And that's it. And I'm like, there's much more to it than that. We've got to reach out to these people and find out how we can help. So that's what our networking groups are. That's what sets our networking groups apart from other RIAs and other types of networking groups, because we've got a group of leaders who are dedicated to seeing you level up. And so we're not just going to sit back and wait for you to come to us. We're coming to you.
Woo! Let's give Gary a round of applause. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to come to us. We're coming to you. I love that. That is the core of what Alchemist Nation is all about. Practically forcing you to success. People who are weak and afraid of being better and bigger don't come to this community. It's only people who are looking for more, looking to grow, expand, be more impactful, help others. It really is a special place to be. And it does have work involved, right? You're going to have to change your mindset. You're going to have to do things you're not comfortable with. You're going to have to call that person. You're going to have to make offers. You have to commit to things that are scary, raise capital, do deals, hire people, follow up, trust the system, trust the process, fire people when necessary. It is inevitable that you will do things you don't want to do. That's right. One more, Mitch Jorsky, if we can get a share, and then Billy Reuter, absolutely. But go ahead, Billy, because Mitch always says, well, I wasn't paying attention. So you're first, Billy. Mitch, you're up.
Right. I appreciate you. I want to make this super fast, but I'm actually going to tie in like 4 people that are on this call, including you, Walter, Michael Shine, and I don't know if Ken Ingram is on the call, but he's part of this as well. I was on a lot of calls last week, and a lot of you are on this call were with me, and we talked about outcomes versus experiences. So you can't get away from outcomes. Like Walter's talking about, that's the power of outsourcing. So this lesson is so important, learning how to outsource certain aspects so you can still hit the outcomes we need in our business. Moving on to the amazing Michael Shine, talking about how AI might take certain things, but they can't take away the human experience. And the reason why I share that is, like, we sometimes as entrepreneurs, we get caught up in only being outcome based and forgetting that we are here to live life and through this human experience. So now I'm going to tie in Ken Ingram, who I consider a dear friend. We text all the time. Ken Ingram just made $1 million in equity, as Walter shared. This morning, I get a text from Ken Ingram. Now, it had nothing to do with business. It had nothing to do with money. The word $1 million didn't even come up. He texts me, hey, brother, good morning. I just want to let you know the walks here in nature are so beautiful in his new hotel in Tennessee. So we didn't talk about finances, money, and hustle grind. We both love nature. And even as ambitious entrepreneurs, we paused and just, as I was on my morning walk, so we're texting on our morning walks, enjoying just life. So I want to share that because that can't be done without outsourcing. And a little side note here, Ken and I met at the mastermind and we talked because of the mastermind. And if you're not in the mastermind, get in the mastermind, because the people around you, your community is your biggest asset. And I hope to see everybody there on Monday. Love you all.
Give Billy Reuter a round of applause. He's one of the speakers. He's also running the Power Producer Academy, which will be launching very shortly, very soon. But he spoke at this year's summit, 100 Millionaire Summit in Orlando. This year, the summit will be shifting its name to the Business and Real Estate Investors Summit. Show of hands if that's a cool name switch. I love it too. The mission is still each of our locations building 100 millionaires, but we serve business and real estate professionals. I strongly believe that everybody should have a business and everybody should invest in real estate. Anybody who does not, 10 years from now, they're going to see that they live in a very, very different world from where you live. There's something that Dorina asked me to share with you. Who here knows we have a Facebook group and sometimes thinks I should jump in that Facebook group and get resources, get access to things? Well, this week we were working through the RIP Facebook group and somebody said that, hey, nobody liked my post. And I looked and I noticed they have no points inside the Facebook group. Does anybody notice that Facebook groups give you points for interaction? Show of hands if you do know this. Show of hands if you don't know this. Don't know that Facebook groups have points. So let me share very quickly how Facebook groups work now. When you come in, you can post, you can share, you can comment, you can like things. And if you have a top contributor tag on your page or on your post, there's a likelihood that it's going to see this. Billy Reuter has a top contributor tag. That wasn't the top post, but it is now. So he wasn't the most recent post, but because he is the top contributor, his post ends up there, along with whatever the most recent post is. So Eric Florney is also a top contributor. You can see Eric Florney is in the top 10% of contributors in the group. Create more posts or comments to keep your top contributor badge. So if you're wondering why people aren't seeing your posts inside the Facebook group when you're asking for things, it's because you're not normally engaging and adding value to the group. Show of hands if you understand how the algorithm works. Excellent. So if you want a challenge, there is one person who I know for sure who adds a ton of value to the group no matter what. I'm looking for their name. I know they're a top contributor. Let me see. Dorina for sure is a top contributor. Let's see what her points are. Show of hands if you'd like to see what Dorina's points are in the group. All right, so we click on it. 10,000. 10,000 points. Holy shit. So that's a lot of points. So if there's another one who I want to check with you very quickly, who I think is got to be up there. I know he's in this group all the time. So I'm going to search people. And I'm going to go for Larry Steinhaus. Who here knows who Larry is? Seen his posts. He's like, oh, is it? Yes, he's got the top contributor badge. So when we go to Larry Steinhaus's page, 2,876 points. So if you understand, it's consistency. It's just about posting. Now, Billy's been posting more. So if I go to Billy Reuter and I look, because Billy's on the come up. So I know he hasn't been posting as much as Larry, but I know he's been posting 776 points. He is on the grind, on the rise. Show of hands if you're looking at Billy Reuter's face right now on the camera and you're seeing him say, I need to do better. Show of hands for catching that. That's the competitive edge inside Billy.
I'm taking out Larry Steinhaus. I'm taking him out. No, be prepared.
So pro tips, if you are looking to get noticed inside other people's Facebook groups, not just Alchemist Nation, but other people's Facebook groups, it is not about how often you post. It's about how often you comment. The comments are where the money is on the Facebook groups. The more commenting, the more engaging you provide inside the Facebook group, the more attention you will get from people who are looking to do business with you. Show of hands if you're an entrepreneur and you'd like more business from other people. You like more business, you like more people to know who you are, more people to trust you, not like you. Go into the Facebook group that has your ideal avatar and then comment. Be valuable, be interesting, be engaging, not one word comments, like real comments, real engagement, real enjoyment in the group and add value. That is my pro tip for today. Each of you has the capacity to really change your business. It can happen overnight up here, but it can't happen overnight out in the real world. So you're going to have to create new habits. You have to change things. The change up here to change your habits is overnight. It's instantaneous. You just decide who you are. Thurban asked me today when we were in the gym, we're pushing weights, and he's like, how do I believe that it's possible for me to be a millionaire? How do I believe that it's possible? And he's like, what do you do? And I told him, I just fucking decided that I was. And every day that I woke up not a millionaire, I was fucking pissed. And I went and I changed my life. And I went and I did things I wasn't comfortable with. I just decided to do what millionaires do. I just decided to be successful. I just decided to be disciplined. I just decided every time my body says I'm tired, but I know I'm supposed to go to the gym, I would just go to the gym. The moment that I would think I'm too tired to do this, I would just go, because that became the mantra. That's what I do. I am a millionaire. I create $1 million. I create the wealth. I have a body that has the energy to get to the $1 million. Because if I'm going to sleep at 8 o'clock and waking up at 8 o'clock, my body doesn't have the ability. I'm missing 4 hours that everybody else has. So fancy for grasping this. So I had to get my body right. I had to get my mind right. Every thought that I had was a negative thought. Every thought was like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I had to change my thoughts that I'm just going to do things I can't do. From now on, I just do shit I can't do. From now on, I just do impossible shit. I just do hard things. So fans, if you can just decide overnight, absolutely. Here's what will make you different from everybody else. You make that same decision every single day, every single hour when it's time to make the decision again. You can't remake it. It's been made. The decision has been made. A true decision is not something you change. Successful people make their decisions quickly and they change them never, if ever. And they only change a decision if compelling, massive amounts of new information have been slammed into their face over and over and over, and it's become obvious that this way isn't the way to get it done. So they'll make a shift to try something different, but they will go after the same exact goal. Show of hands if you understand. You must be relentless with your goal, flexible in how you get there. Flexible, not wishy-washy, flexible. You must be able to bend to get there, but not break. Show of hands, you're committed. Awesome. Excellent. In that case, the book-a-link.alchemiststation.com is available to each of you. Book a link, book a call, bookacall.com. Sorry, it's bookacall.alchemiststation.com. And for each of you who is about to go crush it out into the world, go forward knowing that you are about to outsource anything. Oh, shit. I forgot to say this. Really important. Caveat to outsourcing. Do not outsource your loved ones. Thought that would be hilarious. Go ahead, Mitch. Give us something.
Oh my goodness. That was hilarious.
Do not outsource certain activities. There are certain things you got to do.
You actually mentioned a few things where I'm like, oh, now I got like quotes popping up in my head, and you loosely just actually quoted my favorite Jeff Bezos saying, which is be stubborn in your vision, but flexible with the details. And that's so spot on because we have shiny object syndrome where we're trying to do 75 different things, but then we'll be like stubborn inside those things. It's just like, no, get one vision and then be flexible with the path to that vision. So we kind of always do it backwards. I'm guilty of it. I always have to check myself and refocus. So just enjoyed that you ended up touching on that because, like I said, one of my favorite quotes, and it's something that I think people can keep in mind because if you don't stay focused on that vision, it's like, a ship without direction, but you don't know where the current's going to take you. So it might not be a straight line to shore. So be stubborn with your vision, flexible with the details. And I will keep it at that because there's plenty of others, but that one's gold.
Give Mitch Jorsky a round of applause. He's the author of the book, Scaredy Cat Guide to Real Estate Investing, and a personal friend. He's helped us build millionaires over the last 5 years. This is his 5th year helping Alchemist Nation grow and expand and build millionaires. He will be at the summit as well. One of my favorites. To each of you, you got some work to do.
Hey, Walter, we have a
Serena, what do you got?
question.
Go ahead. What's the question?
It's Teresa Cruz in the attendees. She can unmute and talk.
Go ahead, Teresa. Teresa Cruz. I have a few groups. Did I realize that? Do you have a question, Teresa? I see your hand up. The suspense. Serena asked me, will there be a Q&A session? No, we're not doing Q&A anymore. Q&A is now over. You mean a networking call, Serena?
No, Q&A.
Q&A? Yeah. Q&A is now in the Facebook group. That was my point in talking about the Facebook group. So sorry, I didn't tie that in well. Give Serena a round of applause. All right. If you're wondering why people aren't seeing your posts, it's because you're not engaging enough in the Facebook group when you don't need it. So engage in the Facebook group when you don't need it. So you can have it when you do need it. So what I'm going to suggest is any questions that come up for you ever, just drop them into the Facebook group. I know for sure that all of the coaches, all of the mentors are looking for the opportunity to post and comment in there because they absolutely can't help themselves. They're addicted to sharing information. Show of hands if you've ever asked a question or seen somebody ask a question. You see the guys are in there posting. Please ask more questions inside the Facebook group. These guys are such abundant, like men and women who really, really, really want to help, and they're getting restless. They're getting like waiting for you to ask them questions inside the Facebook group. So please go to the Facebook group today, ask questions there. It makes it a lot easier for us to help you, and it's documented so we can all see what people are asking questions at a longer term. That being said, book a call to optimization.com. Go to the Facebook group. Let's give everybody on this call, our leaders, a big round of applause. Crushing it. I'm thinking Wednesday there's a webinar, Dorina. What is the webinar Wednesday? Have we decided? Are we skipping this Wednesday? And then we'll come back next Wednesday because I'm traveling. And Billy's traveling, or Billy's got his jujitsu. Dorina, was the decision made on Wednesday?
No, no.
Okay, so we'll skip Wednesday. So this Wednesday, no webinar. Knock yourselves out. Do some crazy stuff. Next Wednesday, we'll come back with something badass. Cheers to your success. You have a choice. Always work with the best. See you on Facebook. Gary's looking for coaches. If you know somebody who wants to learn how to run our process, who wants to learn our coaching system, if you know somebody who wants to be a coach, has a lot of experience coaching, and just wants to learn our system, send them to Gary Aker. Gary Aker will take care of them and get them set up. So these are coaches with some coaching experience who just want to learn our system for building millionaires and are open-minded, abundant-minded, and not in a space of competition. They don't see us as competitors. They see us as a resource to help more people. Cheers to your success. We have a choice. Always work with the best. We'll see you on the next one. Give Gary a round of applause.